Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be honoring local law enforcement.
I'm Sergeant Tyler Johnson. I'm in our criminal investigations unit. With me is Motor Officer Anthony DeFazio.
My main focus is traffic enforcement. My specialty, what I do is anything on the roadway. So if there's vehicles that are speeding down the road, I pull those cars over. We handle traffic collisions. We deal with impaired drivers, drunk driver. They call those standardized field sobriety tests. So we do certain tests that they have to perform. So it'd be like walking in a straight line or standing on one leg, where they have to follow like a light in my hand where I have to go side to side and they have to follow that with their eyes.
Do you think you can actually do a demonstration, what you would typically do? If you were to pull her over, she's in the car, what do you say?
Well, I would, if I was to pull her over, introduce myself as a police officer. I tell her why I pulled her over. So if like she committed a traffic violation or if she was swerving on the road, I would then explain that portion to her. Based on what I see in the car and how she's interacting with me, would make a decision if I was to ask her certain questions that involved like her being like a drunk driver. Here in Arizona, what we have is called slightest degree. What that means is we are a zero tolerance state. So any type of alcohol that you do have in your system, there is a chance if you are showing what they refer to as impairment. What I mean by that is they can be arrested for it. Tell her, hey, I just want to make sure that you're safe to drive. She would get out of the car. Avalon would get out of the car. I'd have her stand on the sidewalk. I'd make sure like the sidewalk's clear from anything. There's no like rocks or any dirt or anything on the sidewalk. I'd make sure that we're in a nice area where there's no other cars that could hit us. There's nothing that's in the way, and it's like a well-lit area. So after that, I would tell her, hey, put your feet together, put your arms down to your sides, and pay attention to me while I give you the instructions. Then I would tell her, can you imagine a straight line directly in front of you? And she would say, yes, I can. Then I'd say, okay, put your left foot on that line, just like me, because I would demonstrate it with her. And then after she did that, she put her right foot in front of her left foot, and then she would stay in that position and not move until I tell her to do so. And then I would ask, hey, do you understand? So once I demonstrate it, I would walk down those 9. I would tell her, hey, when I tell you to and not until I tell you to, you're going to walk 9 heel-to-toe steps down the imaginary line. When you get to the end of the 9 steps, you're going to keep your lead foot planted on the ground, and you're going to make small steps to turn yourself around, and then you're going to get back in line and take 9 more heel-to-toe steps back down the line. Yeah. So then I would demonstrate for her. And then after I get done, I have to remind her, I'd have to say, make sure you're looking at your feet, you're counting your numbers out loud, and you keep your arms down at your sides at all times. Okay. Hopefully you never have to do this when you're old enough to get a car.
2, 3, 4. 5.
Put your arms down.
Your arms down.
Sorry.
Come back.
Come back?
Yeah, keep going. Right.
Okay. Do I just continue the count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your arms down, go to it.
Yeah. Yep.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm turning around.
All right. So what else do? Do you shine a light in her pupils, or do anything? She has to touch her nose or stand on one leg?
So yeah, we do that as well. There's another test where
7, 8, 9.
You're really cute.
Avalon, stay standing up. Don't sit down, okay?
Okay.
All right, so face the camera just like you are. Now put your feet together and your arms down at your sides. All right, so you're going to lift a leg up, whatever leg you want, okay? You're going to stand on one leg. Basically, you're going to balance on one leg.
I'm on my right foot.
Yeah.
You can't see because the screen.
I can't see now. So are you balancing on one leg?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another test that we do, that they have to look at their feet and they have to count their numbers out loud. And that's another divided attention test. So you're looking at your foot, you're counting out loud, and you're balancing all at once. So what the alcohol does, if you were to drink and drive, is it would affect your ability to multitask. So you can't do 3 different things at once. So that is the purpose why we do those type of tests.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So with those, was that pretty easy? Did that seem easy for you? So imagine a grown adult who, and I would say for the most part, there are quite a bit of like athletic in shape individuals. They can't perform those tests when they drink alcohol. So it seems simple to you, but then when they're on the roadway and they are impaired by that, and you try to have them do those simple tasks, they can't perform those. So does everybody in class understand that that is how much alcohol can affect you? If it's something simple as just standing on one leg or walking in a straight line, if you can't perform those properly, you probably shouldn't be driving, correct? So there's one more that I do. You check their eyes. So some people are fancy and they have like a little pen light. I just hold my pen. What I'll do is I'll tell them, keep your head still. Do not move your head side to side, and you're going to follow the tip of my pen with your eyes and your eyes only. As they do that, basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go side to side and have them follow the pen with their eyes. A normal person that doesn't have any type of alcoholic beverage that's in their system, what they'll do is their eyes will just follow nice and smooth. But when you have a certain amount of alcohol in your system, your eyes will not follow smoothly.
It was cool to see the demonstration.
So how often do you do car chases?
It's kind of one of those things where we're in a good city to where we don't really chase cars. Most of the time, everybody is pretty decent with us. We do have a nice city here in Surprise where we don't have many people that, I guess you could say, they run from us. They don't do that. When people see our lights behind, if we're driving behind them and they see the red and blue lights, everybody most likely pulls over.
So have you done the car chase involving helicopters and other vehicles?
No, I have not. No, hopefully I don't have to, but no, I have not done that. That's mostly TV stuff. We don't see that here. We go through annual trainings throughout the year. We have to be prepared for as much as we can or everything. So there are some days where we do there'll be a training day where we'll do like driving. I won't be on a motorcycle. We'll be in a car and we'll be practicing driving training. So we do what they call is like a fake vehicle pursuit because they want to make sure, hey, you're following policy and you're doing it safely. We do things like defensive tactics where we wrestle around or do scenarios where it involves us having to use some type of force to make sure we're doing it properly and we're doing it safely.
So they've taught you how to put the nails and stuff on the road to puncture the wheels and right?
We have done training for like what they're called stop sticks. We have gone through the training for it. I don't know if you guys seen the silver cars that are on the highway. That's Department of Public Safety. That they are who handle more highway traffic related incidents. So those are the guys that do have, they call them grapplers, where they'll get really close to the back of another vehicle and then they have a mechanism that's on the front of their car that will stop their car. They also do have stop sticks as well, I believe. So they are more of they handle that. So this is my vest that I wear every single day for my shift. So this is what I wear. I would say that it's probably 25 to 35 pounds of weight. So I have a front and a back plate that protects me from like bullets. Like if someone was to try to hurt me and they were to try to shoot me with a gun, this vest has bulletproof protection. On the front, I have my radio. So this is you guys know what a walkie-talkie is. Basically this is what that is. It's a radio. My badge is right here. I have a camera that watches everything that I do. Hopefully I'll never have to use this, but I have a taser right here. This is part of my radio. I got my flashlight. So the bullets that you put in your gun, I have extras right here. My primary sidearm is going to be on my hip right here. And then I have my handcuffs. So these are my primary pair. This is for your average size human being.
What's the most rewarding part about your job?
As a young child, my dad, he was a police officer. He was kind of my role model when I grew up. I told him when I was younger that, hey, this is what I wanted to do. This was my dream, to be a police officer. So he kind of guided me that direction. The most rewarding thing would be being able to talk to you guys. I do work with a lot of younger kids or cadets. They get to see what I do, and I get to give them all the attention that my father gave me to reach the goal that I'm here now, like doing this job now. I get to give them that same attention. And I would say that's probably the most rewarding thing about doing this job. I get to help people. I get to make sure people are safe. But I also get to help the young generation become like a police officer one day if that's what they dream to do.
That's really cool. What kind of motorcycle do you drive?
It's a BMW 1200 RT.
How long does it normally take to train to be a police officer?
You have to be at least 21 years of age. Like I put myself through college to become a police officer. So it took me 10 months. A normal police agency, it only takes about 6 months.
What's the longest shift you've ever had to work?
Longest shift I had was 18 hours.
Wow.
That was the longest shift I had. I was working throughout my normal shift, and then at 4 o'clock, my sergeant told me I had to go take a call that was in a different city at a hospital. And then I was there until the next morning at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So it was a long day. I won't forget that day.
Cops know about robbers are stealing the bank from money. How do you know that?
Well, because the people that are working at, say, a bank or a business, they're the ones that call us for help. Or in certain businesses, underneath like the desk or a table that the person's working at, there's a button. So it's an emergency button that they're not allowed to touch unless they're in an emergency. So if something bad was to happen, all they got to do is click that button and it will send us the information on where the emergency is at, and they don't even have to talk to us or anything. It automatically makes us get there.
Is it possible for kids to go to jail?
It is possible, yes. So make sure as you're growing up, you always do the right thing. You follow the rules. I have my radar gun. So this is what I use to check for vehicles that are going too fast or speeding.
So this is where, when you actually get arrested, this is kind of the holding portion that will get everybody here. If you were an adult, you go through those doors, and that's how you go right to court. If you're a juvenile, go this way.
Now, this is the prison area.
Your traffic officer, DeFazio, on a motorcycle.
I like it. It looks like real life.
Yeah, I mean, look at that facial expression. He's so serious, right?
That's how Anthony is. He's always so serious.
So yeah, very good job.
I drew Officer DeFazio on his police motorcycle. It was to honor the service and the work that police officers do in the community. I basically tried to make it very detailed. Like I had a reference photo, so I tried to make it very detailed and accurate to that. It took a bit longer than I thought to do, but looking back, I'm really proud of the work that I did, because it took, I don't even remember, like most of the afternoon to complete. And I didn't consider myself a really good artist, but I think that through this, I kind of improved a little bit.
It looks really good.
The students were taught how to use the grid system, so everything's in proportion. The lesson plan incorporates maths, physics, and geometry. Very good job, Avalon.
I kind of did the same kind of grid system.
That looks really good. You did a good job.
It looks good enough to like a vinyl sticker.
I draw focus on a motorcycle, and I draw the ground, and I draw you with glasses, and you have a badge.
It looks really good. I like the shield on the front of the motorcycle.
Well worth the time, because I don't draw vehicles that often. So I'm really proud of this.
Really good job.
Thank you.
So I just drew my policeman, him next to his motorcycle.
It's really good. I like how on the wheels, like they're like perfect circles too.
So I also drew Officer DeFazio on the motorcycle. It turned out really good.
Yeah, I like how you have the glasses and then his mic piece and his helmet. I think you did really good.
Drew the police next to his motorcycle.
Person looks just like me.
That's really cool.
It was a pleasure being able to talk to you guys. Thank you for taking your time and drawing me. It's an honor that Yvonne kind of made a class for you guys. I'm excited to see everybody next weekend.
Thank you
for
for
your
your service.